Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is what we're going to talk through today. And this is the Mark 23 replica from Tokyo Marui. Again, you know how much of a big Tokyo Marui fanboy I am. So this is going to be, again, me just kind of singing the praises of Tokyo Marui, how great I think they are. And this is really a very, very cool piece of kit. You can't get this in the US, really. You can get it shipped in from overseas. And I believe that, again, is because this has not been licensed properly by Tokyo Marui. It's the Heckler & Koch. It's a 45 caliber, if I can put it there. Firearm in real life. Again, this is an Airsoft replica, but it's probably most recognizable from the video game Metal Gear Solid. And if you ever played the original Metal Gear Solid, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is a massive pistol. I mean, this thing is basically the size of a PDW, but it also looks really cool. And it also, if you're using it, you feel like some kind of special agent, spy, you know, exactly what Metal Gear Solid is. And so when I saw it, I was like, right, that's something I've got to have. This has got no blowback action. So it does rack the slide. So you can rack the action like that and adjust the hop up. But it actually, when you fire it, which I'll show you with the magazine now, this is incredibly quiet. It will do a full long trigger pull. You can pull the hammer back and retract the trigger there. But there's a reason that this is incredibly popular with Airsoft snipers, or it has been. When I first started watching content on Airsoft snipers, this was the actual replica that everyone wanted, or everyone who is sniping seemed to use, and it is because of how quiet this thing is. Because you haven't got that blowback action, you haven't got nearly the noise that you would do with a full gas blowback, which means that if you're sniping and you need to use a secondary and someone's coming in close, being able just to pull that trigger and not have any noise, I think is something that a lot of snipers valued because they can't identify necessarily where you are. It has got this kind of PEC unit thing on the front here. It does feel quite plastic, this, I would say. I mean, the whole thing is plastic, as it is with Tokyo Marui stuff, and this isn't necessarily the same quality as some of the other things. This is one of their older models. For instance, this here is actually kind of just plastic. It's not actually a switch. Your safety is here, kind of like the other USP Compact, which again is kind of fairly easy to manipulate, but not the easiest thing. But it also has this, which is the silencer, again licensed there, which they're definitely not supposed to do, which is why you have to get it abroad. But it is it's a great piece of kit, and it's something that I've definitely used in games. The accuracy on this is great. You can get a ton of upgrade parts for it, which I think is one of the most cool things about it, because you could basically put a very long barrel in through the silencer and make this thing incredibly accurate at range and very, very consistent, which it is. You know, it's built incredibly well. It is meant for duster gas, as all Tokyo Marui stuff is, being built in Japan. If you're using green gas on it, it isn't going to last as long, but you can get a lot of like upgrade internals with this. I haven't seen this as prevalent in Airsoft content as it used to be. Novrich actually made a copy of this, which is a real metal kind of slide version. I got one of those and I think it was fine, but I didn't actually really like it in comparison to this. I don't know why, because it was more realistic feeling. But this thing for me, maybe it's because it has the silencer and this kind of PEC unit attachment on the front. But for me, it just it didn't really have the same. I can't describe it. I don't think the performance was as good. They actually make kind of like a carbine model. This is the SSX 23, and then they also make instead of the Mark 23, and then they make an SSX 303, which basically is the same base. It's kind of like my AAP01 carbine build, where you actually kind of have a long form body on it. Again, I had one of those, really quiet, kind of loved the idea of it, but didn't love it when I got it. So again, I'm a big Tokyo Marui fanboy. I went back to Tokyo Marui and it decided to do that instead of Novrich's stuff. I'm sure, and I've heard he makes some great stuff, or that company does. But for me, this was kind of the one I wanted to go for. It does have a switch right here, which you can probably tell if I pointed at myself. It's got a very weak flashlight. So this flashlight, I'll try and show you there. It's very, very weak. It's kind of got this laserish light there, which doesn't actually do anything. If you push it one way, it is temporary. It's like a pressure switch. If you push it the other way, it stays on. I think that can be quite dangerous because if you accidentally put it on, you're not really realizing that it is on. Anyone who sees you with this silent kind of, you know, more covert pistol is going to have a massive white light in their face. So it's going to be very, very obvious. And obviously the battery is going to die. Probably that is about it, guys, just on this. As I said, really, really like it. So if you're thinking about getting it, I think the price on this, if you're trying to get it, you can get it from Red Wolf. It's actually out of stock right now. It's $140. So again, it's not something that is seriously overpriced. I think it's priced well for what it is. And again, it's one of those things where if you're a Metal Gear Solid, like video game fanboy, if you're a Tokyo Marui fanboy, I don't know how much longer they're going to make this, because I can imagine they would maybe phase this out at a certain point. But I love it in my collection. Again, I don't play Sniper that much, so I don't use it in games that much. But actually having it, being able to pull it out when you've got friends here, and it's just very satisfying, like that noise. Try and put it here so you guys can hear it. That thing. Yeah. So, I don't know. You can watch a lot of sniping airsoft videos and see exactly what this is like. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully that's interesting. If you have any questions about this replica or any others, put it in the comments below. And I will see you guys very soon on the next video. Goodbye.